And yes, we are live. How attention causes sibling rivalry. I'm sure that you saw this topic and you're wondering, attention causing sibling rivalry. Coach, what are you talking about? Yes, today I am going to be sharing with you today how attention can actually cause sibling rivalry. Are you ready for this class? If you are ready, let me see your comment right in the comment section and let me see you say, I am ready. I am ready. Right in the comment section. Thank you so much for joining me today. Let me see your comment in the comment section if you can see me and you can hear me. Alrighty. So yes, I'm ready. I can see all of the I'm ready. All of the I'm ready. Okay. Alrighty. Now, the other part that you want to do for me is, have you shared it with someone? Have you shared this link with somebody? So if you haven't, share this link with somebody right about now, not later. Now, as I'm speaking, just share with somebody. Let someone in your circle know that you are having this conversation and it's something that they can actually learn from. Now, one of the things that I have found is that when it comes to sibling rivalry, the conversation is not enough. We're not even having the conversation at all. Now, when I wrote the book, Resolving Sibling Rivalry, something was very instructive. I began to realize that this is a topic that nobody wants to talk about. All of us have issues in our families, yeah? All of us have, things happening. Our father's brother is not talking to our father, and we're all not talking to our cousins. But nobody wants to say it. Everybody wants to present the picture perfect room, which is what the problem is. Now, imagine that this conversation, we're not having it, and we're making same mistake, which is actually one of my biggest problem. Now, we're making same mistake because we don't, we don't really, um, we don't really have a choice because we don't really know how to do anything better. When I wrote this book, if you read this book, the first thing I shared was about my own father's family. My father's family is in disarray. I say it all the time. And it's a conversation nobody wants to bring up. But these are deep issues. In the recent time, I started to actually chronicle and research, how does attention cause sibling rivalry? Now you're wondering, attention, but you say we should give our children attention. You say we should give our children time. You say we should make out time for our children. How then does attention cause sibling rivalry? And let me shock you. Both positive and negative attention causes sibling rivalry. Did you hear that? Both positive and negative attention causes sibling rivalry. Can someone help me write that in the comment section? And because when you hear that, you're thinking, maybe it's just negative attention. Okay? Sorry, give me 1 minute. Alrighty. So when you're here thinking about it, okay, what does it even mean? How does attention even begin to become an issue? Yes, attention is an issue. And I'm going to be sharing with you. Now, sibling rivalry is the competition, the jealousy, the conflict that happen between siblings as they compete for their parents' attention, parents' love, and parents' resources. And these resources include time. It's not money, so that you don't hear resources and you're wondering, maybe there's someone, there's money involved, children are actually out for money. No, they are actually fighting for resources like time, resources like wisdom, resources like just being there. So attention is a big deal for children. So children will rather have negative attention instead of no attention at all. This is particularly very important. Every time that you think about your parenting, think about it. What kind of attention Am I driving in the system? Now, there are different common signs of sibling rivalry. Different common signs. Frequent arguments or fights, negative comparisons, attention-seeking behaviors. Now, when you see a child, no, I say that sibling conflict and sibling rivalry are two different things. Rivalry is that it's now neck deep. It's now a big deal. Conflict is that we are disagreeing. We are in a family, so we must disagree. If you are able to fix siblings conflict, disagreement, little facts, then you're not going to get to a point where you now need to deal with regressive behavior, jealousy and resentment, physical and emotional withdrawal, and all of that that comes with rivalry. If you're just joining me, my name is Wendy Ologe, and I'm the founder of the Intentional Parent Academy. And we're dealing with how attention causes sibling rivalry. And if this is your first time of joining me here, let me see your comment right in the comment section telling me that it is your first time. We want to sing for you. Do you want us to sing for you? All righty. So let me see your comment in the comment section. If you are just joining in now, have you shared this link with someone somewhere in your circle? Put it on your status. Put it on your Facebook community, on your Instagram page. Share it because, yes, this can be a thing. Somebody said, oh, this is my first time. Amazing. Somebody said, good to be live here. Been a while. Interesting. So if this is your first time, just put your comment in the comment section. Maybe we can sing for you. Where's Dr. Happiness? Can you come and welcome first timers, please? All righty. Thank you so much for joining me here. We are talking about how attention causes sibling rivalry. And it's so good that we are having this conversation. And I started with the fact that we don't really talk about these things a lot. We avoid it. It's one conversation we don't want to talk about. I come from a home where I witnessed my father and his siblings fight, not just fight, bicker, not just bicker, envy, not just envy, to the point that people don't talk to each other. It is a whole mess. And by the time you start to dig deeper, you begin to realize that these things started even before they became adult. Most sibling rivalry issues, you can ultimately trace it to childhood. You can ultimately trace sibling rivalry to childhood. So I've had quite a number of people say to me, they're just children, they will outgrow it. I want to ask you a question. And I want you to sincerely respond in the comment section. Did you really, really outgrow sibling rivalry? So it's so easy for us to pick up and run and say things like, oh, we used to fight a lot when we were young, but now all of that is gone away. Is it really gone away? Or somebody just thought, you know what? I beg, there's no need. We can just manage ourselves the way it is and the way it's going and just pretend that nothing was there at all. Sweep it all under the carpet and continue to. I usually say that, one of the things you want to do or one of the worst things you want to do on your parenting journey is hypocrisy. The moment you become hypocritical, you miss the essence of being able to actually correct anything on your journey. Now, there are 117 people watching me. Have you been able to answer that question? Please, I am waiting for you in the comment section. I can see Alu here say no. Most of those rivalries never went away. It just took another shape. Sometimes it took a shape of, but let it just be there. Sometimes it took the shape of, let me just try. After all, I'm an adult. Sometimes it took a shape of, let us cover it with judge. Amateur judge. That's the way they say it in my language, right? So you cover it with judge. And that's one of the things, one of the reasons people come to us and say, but we turned out okay. So you just take on that, we just take on the tolerance mood. You take on the, let me just tolerate this person. That's the truth. There are some of our siblings that were just tolerating. Let me not tolerate this person for the sake of peace. And sometimes you actually say to yourself, this is how this person has been all his life. You actually do say that. Who is a witness? Who is here with me? So until we start to think about some of these things we're doing, we would actually not make progress. So many times we're not thinking it, we're just telling ourselves, oh, these things are not, the day is this. When our children finish, when they all finish all of the things, they grow older, they will get over it. So if you're that parent listening to me today and you're saying to yourself, my children are going to get over this sibling rivalry thing and they will be all right, I bring you good news. They shall not be all right. Ma, sir, they are not going to be all right. It will either get worse or it will be pretended over. And I even think that the pretended over is the worst part of it. And that's where you begin to hear things like siblings killing each other, siblings, with high level of envy, and all sorts of things that you get to hear. So it is very important that we look at the things. Now, let me share with you just very few common signs of sibling rivalry. If your children are, bickering and all, there's the time to nip it in the bud. There's the time to share with them skills that will help them. This is the time where you need to actually do quite a lot. This is the time where you need to learn. This is the time where you need to learn. So ask yourself, am I pretending over the rivalry I have as in childhood, or is it getting worse? Either way, right? Either way, it is two extremes that you don't want to be. But if you deal with it in the moment, it helps you to actually begin to realign your process. Number one common sign of sibling rivalry, to effectively manage sibling conflict or rivalry, it is essential that you recognize these signs when they are reoccurring. Number one is frequent arguments and fights. Siblings fight, argue, disagree, but if it's so frequent, it has become constant bickering. It has now become yelling. It has now become physical altercation over both vital, significant, and even trivial issues. You are neck deep into sibling rivalry. Neck deep. So if you're still at the stage where they just what is it? It's a lie, it cannot be your turn. You are in the place of conflict, and it's okay. However, this is the time to nip it in the bud. So even if you're in the place where you say, oh, my children are just, they don't disagree, they're just, you are in the stage, is the forming stage, they are coming. They are coming, right? This is the time for you to learn what to do differently. Number two, negative comparison. When both, one or both siblings make comments like, hey, mommy loves you more now. Hey, you are daddy's favorite. They begin to compare themselves to their siblings to gain attention or sympathy. You are in trouble. If you are actually hearing things like that, there are underlying issues beyond what it is that you're hearing. That comparison is coming from somewhere. Number three, attention-seeking behaviors. Acting out, exaggerating achievements, adopting behaviors, both positive and negative, where children begin to pretend or to gain parental, notice. It will include tackling, interrupting, engaging in mischief to draw focus away from that sibling. That's why I say, when a child is giving negative attention, check it. It stems from the place of lack of parental connection. So negative attention is your child saying to you, you have lost it with me. I am no longer pleased to actually give the attention or please you in the way that you want. And I do not really care because you are not showing me the attention. So therefore, I will do anything in my power to ensure that you give me attention and that no other person in this house gets that attention. Hmm. No other. So it is important that you begin to, and I'm sure that this is a norm in your house. These things I'm saying will be a norm in your house. But let's finish. Now, there is also what we call the regressive behaviors. If younger children begin to revert to behaviors like bedwetting, a younger child begins to talk like a baby, watch it. While the younger children might talk or show exaggerated sadness when they feel less favored. These are the issues. Another one is jealousy and resentment. Compliments about fairness, perceived favoritism, jealousy when a sibling receives praises or attention. Watch it. And then verbal aggression, name calling, insult, making hurtful comments to the siblings, often in front of the parent to provoke a reaction. When you are in front of your children and one person is constantly the one trying to say something in front of you to provoke the next person, watch it. There is something happening there. There's something happening there. I know that you're going to be saying, but these things are all normal in our homes. No, they are not normal, they are common. Sibling rivalry is not normal. Conflicts are very normal, right? But they are, very, very common. So it's one of our normalized norms. We carried from that generation to this place and all of that. Having a conflict, having a disagreement, but knowing how to now deal with it, for it now to escalate, that's another conversation altogether. And today, some of the things we do in parenting that we actually say to ourselves that these things are, they're just normal things that you do. I saw on a community where, one of the community leaders was saying, today school opened. Tell me one of the things that shocked you as the children were waking up and dressing for school. People said, oh, I was shocked that my children have not cut their hair. I was shocked they didn't wear their school uniform. I was shocked they didn't wash their socks. I was just shocked. As I was reading it out, that felt like a tsunami kind of parenting. Like how? How do you parent in that manner? With so much chaos, with so much irresponsibility, with so much lack of accountability, with so much that there's no system. What an unsystemized system. And I said, these things are strange to me. So it's not like we're saying, oh, we're now perfect. No, they are strange occurrences, like they say in the scriptures. They are strange occurrences. It's not normal. It's not what are you talking about? Like comments about, oh, I woke up in the morning, I saw my children, they were not caught. And I was a little bit confused. But these are the norms. It's just like when we say it is impossible to dress your children up in the morning without yelling. We have normalized it. We even say it in most communities. No, it's impossible. Whoever said that they can actually wake up, from sleep and they are not able to, they are not going to be yelling at their children as a mother, as a father, that person is lying. That person is lying. And I'm like, hey, how did we get here? Because when we now have normalized yelling on top of our voices, calling our children names as a way to actually dress them up in the morning. Like, sometimes I ask myself, didn't I have toddlers? As in, were my children not toddlers? As in, what are we talking about? Sometimes I'm saying I had preschoolers, I had toddlers. And it's even, and I was reading one of those comments and I saw where, the comment was a child in secondary school. And the child in secondary school wakes up, hair not barbed, clothes not, put together. And I looked at the whole system and I said, this is totally irresponsibility. But if you touch that parent now, they will tell you, spare the rod that spoiled the child. I beat the child silly. You have just raised someone who doesn't have the skill, the responsibility skills in life. And if you don't correct it, not even your beating solves the problem. because the child is going to grow up like that. He's actually very, you know, very, very crazy. And yes, they say, oh, it's not for perfect parents. It's not, listen, we're not perfect. We're not perfect people. Our children are just, I'm like, okay, what's happening here? What's happening here? Please don't stand in the place of that whole norm. You can learn to do things differently. So if your children are constantly name calling, doing all of those things, and fighting, boxing, and all of that, having physical altercation, there's something already wrong in that system. Please do not normalize it. If you do, it can make a mess in the future. Even when you begin to hear silent things like, hey, you are the one that mommy loves now. You are the one that daddy. It is a sign. These are signs. It's just, so let's just sit down, in our house and just say these things happen. That's the way we even say these things happen. It's not a big deal now. It's not a big deal. Sibling rivalry does not occur in a vacuum. Somebody help me put that. Sibling rivalry does not occur in a vacuum. It is shaped by multiple factors. What are these factors? Family dynamics, age differences, developmental stages of each child, lack of knowledge from parents. Because most times, no parent actually does it intentionally. But more than 80% of the time, you will see the hands of parents inside sibling rivalry. Even for you, when you look through your family, you will see how your parents played a role in where it is your relationship with your sibling is today. So there's no vacuum in sibling rivalry. So don't say, that's how children are. They will just get over it. When they are older, they will become better. No vacuum. Something somewhere is causing it. And it is your responsibility to pick it up, dissect it, and deal with it so that it doesn't deal with you. I wrote in my book, Resolving Sibling Rivalry, that sibling rivalry is a monster. If you don't deal with it, it will deal with you in a merciless way. And it's been proven over the years. Even from the scriptures, you will see how it says that this whole thing can turn around. Brothers tells brothers, brothers kill brothers, sisters kill sisters. I've seen it happen countless times, and we cannot take that away. Now, like I said to the parents in the inner circle, sibling is not blood. Relationship is not blood. Whether you are a sibling to someone, brother and sister and all of that, your relationship success is not blood determined. The success of a relationship is not determined by blood. The fact that we are siblings does not automatically equal to the fact that we're going to have a good relationship. That's why you have friends, best friends, becoming closer than siblings. Because for a friend, you intentionally go all the way to actually build that system. We have what we call the sibling mentorship system that we run in the Inner Circle program. And in that sibling mentorship program, we actually give you a worksheet you can use to actually create a system of sibling mentorship. That's one of the ways to deal with sibling mentorship. So sibling rivalry can be dealt with. And this is one of the ways. And one of the things that we've been able to do is that we have a course coming up. And in that course, we are having some worksheets, right? And part of that worksheet we're actually giving out to you will be this. If you look at my screen, you are going to have the dealing with sibling rivalry course. And you're going to have all of the stuff that we're giving out worksheet that you will be able to work on your sibling rivalry issues with, right? Understanding sibling rivalry worksheet, family agreement worksheet, emotional regulation, emotional communicating skills worksheet, problem solving worksheet, sibling bond activities, sibling strength, family conflict, journal prompts, and all of that. So these are the things that you would need to actually begin to look at to deal with this rivalry that you already have. All right, these are all of the things you're getting for free if you get into the dealing with sibling rivalry course, which is coming up in October. and it is 10,000 naira, and you get all of the 10,500 at early bird. The original fee is 20,500. So you're getting a 50% word right now, a 50% word of whatever it is that you're paying. And of course, that offer that we started at 7.5 is now at 10.5. That offer actually ends. That offer ends completely as we speak in a few days. All right, let's go ahead. Now, you know that I said to you that there are different family dynamics, role of, different stuff that actually causes sibling rivalry. Time won't permit us to go there, but I'm going to just mention them. Age differences, family dynamics, developmental stages in siblings, right? It's also a thing. Now, when you talk about age differences, we're talking about birth order, perceived fairness. There are some places where you just think that the last born is favored more than everybody. So birth order can be a thing, right? And then we're also talking about, younger people feeling overshadowed by older one. And then we're also talking about developmental needs and competition. Younger children compete for more care, more attention, which can make the older children actually feel neglected. At the same time, older children might, receive more privileges and recognition, which can make the younger ones feel inferior. And then, of course, you have the developmental stage. Children who are toddlers are very self-centered naturally because they've not learned social skills. So they struggle with seeing a sibling as a competitor for parental care. So it happens. You find out that when you have a younger child, that can be a thing. But let me talk to you about the role of attention in sibling rivalry. Attention plays a crucial role in shaping siblings' relationship. The way you distribute attention, pay attention to me. The way you distribute their attention among your children can significantly impact how these siblings interact with each other. Now, understanding how these different types of attention affect sibling dynamics and recognizing how you will unintentionally create a competition, then you will be able to actually solve this problem. You'll be glad that you are here. But before I continue, you're going to invite people, and then we would have you here. There are three different types of attention impact sibling relationships. So I'm going to share those three different types as soon as you are done inviting people. While we go on a short break. On that break, you're going to be watching a video of us coming into Kano. Of course, you know that the TIP conference is coming to Kano TIP Summit this weekend. All right, here we have it.
Intentional Parent Summit happening on the 14th of September at the Andute College right here in the ancient city of Kano.
Whether you're a new parent or a seasoned one, a teacher or a caregiver, this summit is designed just for you. Yes, you. Come join us for an inspiring day dedicated to helping you thrive in your parenting journey.
You will have the chance to meet leading parent experts, children and teen educators. They will share valuable insights and day-to-day practice to support you and your family. My people, you need to engage in this interactive summit, which is tailored to address your unique challenges. I mean your own unique challenges, and for you to connect with other parents who share similar experiences.
Za ku samu albarkatun na musamman da za ku kai gida wurin taimaka wa tambiyan yaranku.
Do not miss out on this opportunity to enrich your parenting skills and connect with a supportive community. We look forward to welcoming you to an incredible day of learning and inspiration. We cannot wait to have you spend the day with us. Thank you.
And yes, that was TIP Summit Kano. And we can't wait to be in Kano right on Saturday. Of course, you got all the details. You're looking for more details, send us a chat or you will see all of the details right on our timeline and you can just register. We can't wait to see you in Kano. Kano will be the only northern Nigerian state we're going to be in this year. And next Saturday, we will be in Lagos. And then in October, we'll be in Benin. And we will be in the United Kingdom in the last week of October. I can't wait. Yeah, that's are you here? And hey, shout out to the Kano team. Amina and the TIP Kano team, we are shouting out for you. Thank you. Lagos, we're waiting for your video. UK, Benin, yes, we are here. Thank you so much for joining us. So, I'm talking about how attention causes sibling rivalry, and we are talking about 3 kinds of attention. Did you invite someone as we went on break? Number 1, positive attention. Number 2, negative attention. Number 3, divided attention. Divided attention. See Lagos Summit people in the comments trying to prepare us. Calm down. So these 3 different kinds of attention in your parenting is key. Positive attention is praise, encouragement, affection, involvement in a child's activity and also their interest. Now, when a child receives consistent, genuine, positive attention from their parents, they feel valued, they feel secured, which can reduce feelings of competition, rivalry. However, I'm going to tell you how positive attention can be a negative. Now, if one child is perceived as receiving more attention than another, it can lead to feeling of jealousy, inadequacy in the child who feels less favored when it comes to positive attention. When it comes to positive attention, and I tell you for free, this is a big deal. So I just finished writing all my books and they are all going to print. Of course, pre-order is starting on the 1st of October. I can't wait. And I wrote one of those books called The Trophy Child. I have written this book. I have been trying to put words to this book. The Trophy Child. I was a trophy child. And you know, there are children that you have created trophy out of them and they've become a source of envy. You have made them unintentionally a point where people would actually just want to envy them. Take, for instance, Joseph. The trophy child is a source of envy anytime, any day. Joseph, who was the son, right, among 12 other brothers. In the Bible, the father loved him more than every other person. That's why he was sold, really. Trust me, it's not just because he was going to be mighty. He was favored. He was the most beloved. And then all of a sudden, he wakes up and tells his brothers that he was going to become king and they will be bowing down for him. I'm sure the guy said, what is the issue? If you finish oppressing us in this house, then you will now grow old, that will now be bowing for you. Come on now. Come on, let's just take you away so that we can all have peace. That is what wrong parenting can actually create. That is one thing that it can create. So positive attention can be a big deal. So if you're giving positive attention and you have created trophy out of a particular child, watch it. You're setting that child up for death without knowing it. You're setting that child up for death without knowing it. Yesterday, we were doing review of this book. We're currently reading this book in level 1, Resolving Sibling Rivalry, and a parent shared a heart-wrenching story. It was a story very similar to that of Joseph. You want to hear the story? Join the yard now. You are not in the yard. You can't hear yard. That's exclusive stories. But Omo, I read that story. I read it again, and I was wondering to myself. This thing happened every day. So when you create a trophy child out of a child, with this, you would actually put that child in trouble. So if you were a trophy child, I'm sure you understand what I'm saying. I was, right? Of course, my let me leave you to read that. When you read it, you understand it. Number two, negative attention. Now, negative attention includes criticisms, reprimands, punishment, or any reaction that a child perceives as unfavorable. Interestingly, some children may seek negative attention if they feel that they are not getting any form of attention to you. I have said to you before that negative attention is actually better than no attention for a child. because attention in the dictionary of a child is food. They cannot survive without it. So if you starve your child of positive attention, he will meet you with negative attention because you know what? I'm going to get the attention anyway, whether you give it to me positively or you give it to me negatively. So this dynamic can actually create a circle where one child constantly misbehaves to receive parental attention, leading to resentment from the other siblings who might feel overshadowed by this sibling's negative behavior. So one child is frequently misbehaving, always the one receiving focus, even if it's a disciplinary focus. The other children actually feel overlooked because every time it's only you. I don't know if you had that sibling. Every time it's only you. They are either going to go and do something for you, or they are trying to rescue you from somewhere, or they are trying to. The other people actually become overwhelmed and sometimes resentful. Like, is it even only you? What is it self? Sometimes it might actually even lead them to act out so that they can regain, attention from their parents. Somebody shared in the inner circle how she used to actually form to be sick when she was a child so that her parents would pay attention to her. She said right now, she's always sick, but that she feels and she knows that it's psychological. That because from being a child, all she needed, because it was a large home, said the only way she could get attention from her parents was to become the sickly child. And she said that took a toll on our family. So my siblings felt that I had all the attention in the world, and it took a toll. Today, I'm still battling with it. The last one, divided attention. Divided attention. Divided attention occurs when parents try to spread their focus between multiple children and tasks simultaneously. While this is very often very necessary, especially for busy parents, children might perceive it as divided attention. They might perceive it as a lack of genuine engagement or even interest. If one child consistently feels that their parent is distracted or not fully present when they are seeking attention, they might feel undervalued or even less important. A typical example is a child who is a parent who is always multitasking. Your children is telling you something. Let me give you a very, and then you are with your phone. It will send the message that you are not priority. Then, of course, maybe when a younger child comes to you, because you feel this older child, I can multitask with them. Let me be looking at my phone now. The child is older. What are you even saying? So the child is looking at you, right? The child is feeling, and then when a toddler runs you, because you feel, this toddler is going to fall, hey, the child cannot see the difference. The child cannot see that this child is younger and he is older. That's not what the child can see. The child can only see if it's me. They will just treat me like I don't even matter. If it's this one now, everywhere stops. That's why you hear people feel very envious of their last sibling, because that developmental process, haven't been understood. So of course, when you begin to do that, and you see and you receive more attention. Now, how do parents unintentionally create competition among siblings? Parents often do not intend to create competition. They don't intend to create rivalry, but various factors can lead to this imbalance in attention that fosters competition. Number one is age and developmental needs. Younger children typically require more hands-on, like what I just shared, which actually shifts your parents' attention towards them. So older siblings receive, some of the same, especially if the extra attention is not accompanied by explanation or even effort to provide them with special time as well. Example, a newborn's arrival, I wrote about it in this book. A newborn's arrival often means that the older sibling receives less attention automatically. So the older child might feel pushed aside. It will lead to behaviors aimed at reclaiming the parent's focus, such as regression. You have a baby, your 3-year-old, who had stopped bedwetting, will start bedwetting again. It's psychological. You have a baby, your 5-year-old who doesn't will naturally, do some things, will start acting out. You're wondering, since this baby came now, what is also when you even carry the baby, the child is dragging you, carrying me too. These are all of the things, right? And these are things that you need to deal with. Another part is behavioral issues. When one child exhibits challenging behaviors, tantrum, trouble in school, they receive more attention simply because they need more guidance. Sometimes they need more discipline. However, this can create a sense of competition where the other sibling feels compelled to misbehave as well so that they can receive a similar level of attention. So a parent might spend more time trying to manage a child with ADHD. I don't know if you have any child with special needs, right? If I'm sure that you really get what I'm saying. A child with ADHD, a child who is special needs, a child who doesn't really have the same kind of, the same kind of what's it called? A requirement or attention for that level. Yet you actually see that happening, and you see the other child, leaving that child who is neurotypical, feeling ignored, leading them to act out to gain parental attention. Do I have a witness? Our comment section is so quiet. Did I say something that is hitting you? Alrighty. The next one is academic and extracurricular needs. If one child excels academically, the problem is that we actually make a trophy out of that child. You spend more time supporting that child's effort, right? Attending games, helping them advance. This can lead to perceptions of favoritism and competition from their other sibling, where they now feel that their achievements are less valued. They are less valued. So, example, you're constantly attending to one child's sports game, praising the academic awards without recognizing the talent and the interest of every other child, right? And there's a feeling of resentment, inadequacy. That other child is actually there. But because this child, of course, this happens most with academic pursuit. That was what, created a trophy out of me anyway, because I do not think that every other thing was an advantage. The advantage I had was that my siblings were equally pretty smart. But maybe because, there was some kind of exception, I don't know. And, and it was my dad. So my dad, did this kind. So my dad was always on a praise junkie mantra. Oh, my daughter. Oh, and it rubs off wrongly. That's the truth. He's not saying the other people are not doing what they're supposed to do. But when you are praising one person 1 million times in a day, and then you praise the other person, you have done well, you have done well. We all know that it's not the same. I knew it wasn't the same. That's the truth. Sometimes it actually made me uncomfortable because when you are in the trophy, when you are in the trophy system, I'm sure you understand what it is that I'm talking about. So you now become, sometimes my sibling actually want to, when we're growing up, they want to actually ask daddy to do something. They say, you go now. Once you just say it, everywhere we are lying. Everywhere we're like, and I used to actually wonder it didn't make me feel proud, really. It just made me feel, what is it that everybody just said? They say, Father, now, I was very close to my dad. And it was clear cut, lines. I do not have siblings that I have, bickering among and all of that. I don't even know how it is that they felt in those days. We've talked about some of those things. But trust me, I do not think everybody who is in that system might be able to actually fully explain what it is that now eventually happened. Because I have had a friend whose brother had issues in school, expelled today, this one. They are upset the fact that their brother took all the attention of their parent by just misbehaving. It's actually a big deal. So whether your child is at the extreme of the trophy child or your child is at the extreme of misbehavior, you need to be careful, right? So when you have a child who is special needs and then you have a neurotypical sibling, they might feel ignored. It doesn't even matter. That child doesn't understand that their sibling has a need without you actually doing some things you need to do. All right. Then, of course, you also have health conditions, special needs. When a child has a special needs, a medical condition, they might naturally require more attention, care, resources. While this is understandable, this is true, this is real, it can lead to feelings of neglect and even resentment in siblings who perceive this attention distribution as unfair. A sibling with chronic illness may feel like they are always in the background, all right, leading to jealousy and also behavioral issues. Then they attempt to regain some of their parents' attention. Either ways, it's a big deal. You need to be able to put that together. And then, of course, let's look at the impact of lack of fair or equitable attention, jealousy, resentment, insecurity, and low self-esteem, and then increased rivalry and competition. How do you begin to balance it? What do you do? I'm going to share with you a few things you can do so that you can balance this attention. Number one, ensure quality time. One of the things that you need to be very, very intentional about is the quality time you give to each and every one of your child. In the inner circle, we have tools that insist that you spend few hours with this person. Maybe if you are spending 15 hours with it privately, spend another 15 hours privately. Is important. Ensure dedicate focused time with each child. That's why if you have 6 children, it's on you. Don't come and tell me it's overwhelming. It's on you. You need to actually deal with it. Right? Focus time where each child can actually speak with you. Undivided attention tailored to the interest of the child. The other day, a few days ago, I was very tired. I had finished one of these I was doing, and then it was supposed to be time out with my daughter and I in the house. We were supposed to have some time to talk and all of that. But she saw that I was tired. She said, "Okay, you know what? I'm going to run a bath. You're going to, soak." And I said, "Okay, I want to soak in a bathtub." And she was like, "Okay, that's good." And she wanted to now soak her toes, her feet, and then scrub it and all of that and all the pedicure that needs to be done. And she was like, "You know what? While you soak in the bathroom, I'll do it in the other corner of the room. So we will get to actually have some conversation." We spent the time listening to a class on finance, and then when we were done, we started talking about it, started talking about what she can do. I was tired, but I found a way inside my routine to be able to be there. Most times, it is the lack of thought. It is the lack of thought that we don't put in our parenting that gets it overwhelming. And that's why we say in the inner circle, an inner circle parent is a thinking parent. I will not cancel my one-on-one with my daughter because, hey, I'm tired, I'm dying. No, there's a way out to it. And that's why you need to be in a parenting academy. There's even no how else to say it. Because by the time I was thinking of what to do and she suggested, I remember that another parent had shared something similar. I was like, boom, this is it. Let's go there. I know what to do. When you know what to do, you can never be overwhelmed. Never ever. So this time should be undivided. It was just me and her. My bathroom is quite big. So of course I was in one end, she was in one end, and then we finished listening. By the time we came out, we were, talking, gisting about it, and then, we even slept late eventually and all of that. By the time she was done with having that, I even almost slept off in the bath and all of that. But you know what? That time was still there, reserved. So instead of you just saying, I don't have time, I'm back, why not think? We say that an intentional parent is a thinker. An intentional parent thinks, you think about it. So instead of you hearing me, listening to me now and saying, I don't even know how it is, I'm going to spend one-on-one time with each child. Hey, coach say thinks it's easy. Coach, she has all the time now. What is she doing? You're not busier than I am. I can say that with all sense of humility. You're not. But I have just made up my mind, right, that I am going to put thought to my parenting. Because really, hey, prof, The lack of thought is what leads to overwhelming parenting. And even the lack of thought in, handling sibling issues. And the moment you put this gap, in your parenting, trouble everywhere. So spend that time, dedicate that time, each one child, right? I hope that works. And I'm sure that this is difficult to keep up with if you don't have an accountability system. I've looked at the tool today in the academy and I've told myself, okay, this tool, I need to go and find a way. I've already, printed out, talked about it to the twins about what it is that we're supposed to do on it. And I said, this tool, when I come back now, we'll sit down and look at how it is that we're going to achieve it. Because there is a tool, because there is something that I am accountable to. Like I need to do it, record it on my journal, be sure that I'm actually there, that I'm moved. So so there is some kind of leading, there is a structure, there is a system that tells me that today is one-on-one with my daughter. Today is one-on-one with my son. Tomorrow is, so there's a guide. I'm not just thinking, if you do not have a guide, you don't have an accountability system, you're going to all wake up every day and say, today I'm going to really try, spend that. You will not. You will not. That's the truth. That's the truth. Very, very important. And by the time you actually begin to see problems. Number two, encourage joint activities. One of the things that you're going to get in the dealing with sibling rivalry cause is that you're going to get that joint activity. I call it the joint activity tool, and it's called the sibling bond activity calendar. So the sibling bond activity calendar is going to be able to give you that system where your children can actually do stuff with themselves. So the sibling bond activity calendar is something that you need. We're going to give you free, right? It's a 30 days own. We're going to give you free for everybody who registers for this class, right? So you're going to see all of these things right on my screen. That's the siblings bond calendar. It's a 30 days calendar that will help your process to be able to, do things differently. Number three, past number two. Number three, I'm just sharing a few, right? There are so many things. I'm going to also be explaining it a lot, dealing with sibling rivalry cause. Number three, acknowledge individual strength. When you look at this whole stuff on my screen, you will see what you will see on the screen what I call the sibling mentorship worksheet. Sibling mentorship worksheet is a great way to actually acknowledge individual strength, where each one of the sibling would actually be the one mentoring using strength over weakness. And I was teaching the parents in the inner circle recently, and I said to them, it is strength over weakness, not who is older and who is younger. When you do that, everybody will learn to appreciate each other. Everybody will learn to actually acknowledge what it is that each other can do for you. And that way, you are able to be, do things with yourselves and all of that. Then the next one is communicate openly. Let me not, setting up an accountability system is, being able to actually be in that mentorship program. So it's not the ordinary sibling interaction. It has a worksheet that shows you, I wish I have a copy of that worksheet, that shows you what it is that you can do. And you can actually, it's just a plain, shape. You can print it out and use it every month, and you'll go back to it and go back to it and go back to it, right? Another thing that you want to do is communication. Build communication. Build communication. Communication is one part of your parenting that is very, very important. And I created a communication skills worksheet. And let me shock you. Most of us didn't learn communication. We don't know how to communicate. We are all bad communicator. Recovery. What do I say? Recovery yellers, recovery bad communicators are recovering from many things. Then the communication is terrible. So you cannot give what you don't have. So come and learn in that whole sheet. There's a communication worksheet that I created. What should be communicated? How should it be communicated? Talk with your children about how attention may need to vary. Your children need it. They need to understand. The truth of the matter is that you are definitely going to give more attention to a toddler than you're going to give to a teenager. But you need to actually know how to communicate it. You don't communicate it by, can't you see your children? Yeah, these children they are young. You that is old. That's not a communication, system. Or why are you even acting like a child? When you are a child, didn't I give you? That's not communication. You're just ranting. That's the truth. And ranting doesn't solve this problem. Most of us are bad communicators. And until you tell yourself the truth about it, you won't learn. I had to at some point tell myself, I have issues with communication. So I started to immerse myself in communication classes. And one of the first things my husband and I started to do was to actually attend communication classes. Both of us got married. My husband was that person who would keep quiet so that all of the things we thought that happened would be under the table. I was that person who would start screaming from day one, something is wrong. Hey, they want to kill me. Something is wrong. Both of us were bad communicators. But we had to recognize it. And let me tell this to you. If you're a bad communicator, if you do not learn how to resolve sibling rivalry, you will have issues even in your marriage. So simple things that we're teaching, it's not just about your child, it's about you. This class alone is going to teach you how to resolve conflict with your spouse. Most of us cannot resolve conflict with our spouse. We're constantly fighting. Our spouse says something, you are fighting, you're tearing down. And people come on social media and say things like, there is no husband and wife that don't fight. Why? Why are you fighting? Conflict must not end in a fight. Should not end in a fight. When you have a conflict, you will be able to resolve it. The way my husband and I resolve conflicts now, it's on the go. Even for my friend, I was talking to my friend about something. I was talking to my friend, recently about something, and I thought like 1, 2, 3. I said, this thing you did is very bad behavior. And then she said, Jesus, bad behavior. And and then she was like, why didn't you now do in 5 minutes? We've moved from that conversation to something more and talking about work and then talking about, because I've been able to understand the ropes in resolving conflict. If you don't teach your children the ropes of resolving conflict, if you beat them for a million times when they fight, they will continue. When our children are, having conflict with Karen, they come to us, we're like, go back and solve your problem. And if you're that parent who is playing judge, you're always judging matter. Like my children will say, judge matter. You judge this person. No, you are the one. No, you should not have said it. This is how you would have said it. You are putting yourself in the line of fire. Because at the end of the day, you will be a cause of sibling rivalry without the intentions to. Honestly speaking, without the intentions to. And then you're tearing them apart by doing that. By solving their problem for them, you are tearing them apart without even knowing it. All right. Then the last one, practice fairness in praise and discipline. 2 things. You must strive for a balanced approach in both the way you praise and the way you discipline. Avoid the show of favoritism. If it's this person, I know that I'm doing it because this person wouldn't have done it. Ensure that all children understand the discipline and the consequences are applied consistently, irrespective of whose fault is called. I have said before that unpredictability is the enemy of parenting. If your children cannot predict what each and everyone will go through, if they make a mistake, if there's something happens, then there is the problem. If one child does something and you hit them hard, because according to you, he's my first son, he's my first daughter, they need to be hard. And then the other child does something, you say, don't leave them, their last one, they will be fine. You're creating a room for a lot of loggerheads that you might not even be alive to fix. And that is my problem with sibling rivalry. Most of these things, you're not alive to fix it. My grandparents are late. Their children are still bickering. Their children are now at war. At war. And if you look at, you're coming from that place. Most of us come from those kind of families. You're coming from that place where your father's people are at war or your mother's people are at war. If you don't learn what to do differently, you will replicate the same pattern. I've seen it happen. The same pattern. The pattern will be so clear. So you'll be like, how did this happen? You need to unlearn something that is in your subconscious and relearn what the right one is. The person who came for Rebecca was sharing today at my intentional parenting journey, where she said that the truth of the matter is that your old self will fight your new self. Come and fight that old self and do things differently. I am really looking forward to having you in this course. This is the last course that we're having in the academy for the year before we fully start on the 1st of December for the Intentional Parent Inner Circle program. As soon as we're done with this course between October 9th and I think 12th, well, we do not have any other course for the year. All our focus and energy will be in onboarding, doing things for the inner circle, getting ready, because that is the main deal. That's the academy. That's the head. That's what you need, because it's 1 year. All of these ones are three days and all of that. But this is the last of our program for the academic calendar year generally. So the academic calendar year is not going to have any other program running for the year. Every other program that we have will not be relaunched. So you can just go buy them off on our store and then go ahead and just go through the classes. But we're not doing relaunches. This will be our last relaunch, right? So I look forward to having you. Of course, the others, you already know that you have for the 50% off for your classes. And yes, you can also get our books. One of the things you want to understand is that your yelling can also be a source of rivalry, from yelling to calm, because yelling makes you unpredictable. When you are yelling, one of the things that happens to you is that when you feel like you are driven by your mood, so when you feel like you yell, when you don't feel like you don't yell, one child will say, if it's me, they will shout. If it's the other person, it might just be your mood dictating for you and putting you in trouble. So learn from yelling to calm. Number 2, how to love your child more. I have realized that most parents who actually say that they really truly love their children do not really understand what it is that they're saying until they actually go through a process that actually talks about loving your child more. So if you do not have a copy of this book, you need it. And if you're joining the academy, of course, you need all of the book, and so that you can also do the review. We're currently reviewing this one, Resolving Sibling Rivalry. It's been a whole lot. When I read the stories, there are stories in this book already of so many sibling rivalries from different parts. All right, when I saw the story, I felt like doing a volume 2, because the stories that I've even heard this time around, it is well, but we'll be all right. And then, of course, we have the walking your child through puberty. Your child is going through puberty. You need to actually know what to do. So all those, my child is lazy, I don't know what's wrong with my child, just could be that it's puberty. The good news is that all our books are available on Amazon and wherever it is that you are in your city. You can also get Sex Educate Your Child Like a Pro, Volume 1, 2, 3. Volume 4 is coming at the bed. None of them is the same if you're thinking that way. We have 5 books coming up, right? That is going to be up for pre-order on the 1st of October. Look out for it, because a pre-order and the real price, the distance will be, so far, because the cost of printing is printing us, right? So we're having the trophy child, we're having the parenting advantage, we're having how not to bail your son, how raising a son you never need to bail out, raising the girl with sense, and Sex Educate Your Child Like a Pro, Volume 4. You do not want to miss any of them. Then raising the emotionally skilled child. Yesterday, someone sent me a chat and said, thank you for sitting down and writing the book, The Emotionally Skilled Child. Yeah, it was heartwarming. And of course, raising the dependent thinking child, we have the raising series. Of course, these are the raising series, and we have 2 more raising series coming up. And raising the dependent thinking child. The dependent thinking child is 1 book you do not want to miss to read. Then the parenting launch plan, this is 1 book that is okay. All right. Then discipline is an emergency. I don't know what else to say about this book, but if you are having issues with discipline, you see these 2 books, The Discipline That Works, Discipline is not an Emergency. They are your go-to books for your parenting. And then you have Connect to Correct, the almighty alone in its category, Connect to Correct. That's what I call it. Because every time you read this book, as small as it is, 100 pages, it does something to your whole mind. It actually changes you. And then solving family problems through effective communication. This is that one book that I had to write when I saw that communication was a big deal. You're struggling with communication, what to say, how to say it, and all of that. This book is one book that can help you resolve a distinct sibling rivalry in your home. All right, so these are the books, and you want to get copies. All you need to do is to go on Amazon and take it and get copies, or send a chat to this number, or you can look at the description, right, of the video, and you get it. Or you can meet up with Ronke. Ronke is one of our distributors in Lagos. Look at her. Ronke is, and she's going to also be at the conference, so you can get copies there if you are getting ready. Do not forget that we are getting ready. We are getting ready to be in different parts of the world. One of the places that we're coming to is that we are coming to Kano, right? As you have seen on my screen, we're coming to Kano. Kano is going to be for this Saturday, okay? We're coming to Kano for this Saturday. And we'll be in Kano from Friday, yes. I'm looking very excited and looking forward to it. We are also going to be in Lagos, okay? We're also going to be in Lagos. I'm trying to be sure that we have the Lagos flyer here so that we can show you Lagos. Yes, we're going to be in Lagos. We have more coaches coming to Lagos, right? TIP Summit Lagos. All of us are coming as a squad. You don't want to miss Lagos. Lagos is 21st of September, and very important. Lagos Summit is loading. You want to be there. You can just take the barcode and it takes you directly to the registration. It's free. Right? Just come. We're cooking for you. You won't be able to finish it. We cook for the world. Yes. So there's TIP Summit Lagos. And there is TIP Summit United Kingdom. Yes, we are going to be in the UK 26th of October. I don't have a flyer for Benin. Do I? No, I don't. Do we have a flyer for Benin? Okay, not here, but I think that I saw that. So, but this is UK, and you can always take this, barcode to register. Of course, for you to register, there is a ticket. The UK Summit is ticketed, and you want to actually be there. Okay, so be there, and we look forward to seeing you in all of this summit. I am particularly excited, but I can't wait to see you. And of course, you want to also remember that the course dealing with sibling rivalry is on. The early bird offer is here till 14th of September. Don't miss it. Register now and get all of those worksheets. And you would also be getting this, all this worksheet on my table. Is from the 9th to the 11th, 3 days course, never done before. We've never done this course before. You want to attend, and you will be glad that you did. And then lastly, don't forget to get into the inner circle. Do not forget to get it in. The inner circle is the place to be. The inner circle is our year-long subscription-based program for parents who are ready to revolutionize their parenting journey. And these are the features: weekly, monthly coaching sessions, unlimited access to resources. This can work millions, daily connection to access. You have access. Access to me is one of the gifts that inner circle parents access. If you're going to book a session with me for an hour, you pay 100,000. Whether it's a session where you want to talk to me, chat to me, whatever it is, but my time for an hour will cost you 100,000 naira. If you're in the inner circle, you have access to me through the year, right? Via your chat or voice note, whatever it is. And trust me, that's a blessing. So yes, that 100,000 naira you're going to pay will give you all of those things that you are looking for. So yes, we're starting the next cohort on the 1st of December 2024, and you do not want to miss it. All right. There's weekly, monthly coaching, there's webinars, never seen before kind of webinars. I'm sure that's get it. And of course, we're currently having the TIP, the TIP My Intentional Parenting Journey. You want to watch yadders who have gone through the journey, who are having a whole lot to share. Watch them. If you feel that this thing that they are saying, are they really sure? Is it really true? You can watch them so that will give you an insight of what exactly the inner circle is about. I am particularly excited to welcome you in the next cohort as we go, because we cannot wait. Whether you're a grandmother, you are a father, you are just starting your journey as a parent, the inner circle is for you. You can just take, a picture. It's 100,000 naira a year, and you can lock your slot now with 5,000 naira to lock your slot. But your payment must be finished before the 1st of December. However, if you're able to actually get your payment all done now, it's easier for you because you get onboarded, you get, resources, get started so that we can actually begin to move. See you right in the yard. And don't forget that the dealing with sibling rivalry course have a timeline. In 4 days, this offer for 10,500 ends. Have an amazing day, and see you again next Tuesday at 2 p.m. Scratch that. See you tomorrow at 2 p.m. at 8 a.m., not 2 p.m. Nigerian time, West African time, right? Where a yada will be sharing a testimony again. Have an amazing day, everybody. And for yadas, see you right in the yard.
Hi, my name is Diane Smith, and I am from Trinidad and Tobago. I joined the Intentional Parent Academy in December of 2021. I'm sure you're wondering, why would a grandmother join a parenting academy at this point in her life? Well, I wanted to make generational impact, and I want to get it right. I understand that yesterday's home run cannot win today's game. And if I needed to make that impact, I had to be on the cutting edge. So to get on the cutting edge, I joined the Intentional Parent Academy. Parents, I got so much more than I thought I would have gotten. The daily activities, the weekly and the monthly webinars, the book reviews. We learned so much. I even understood much more the importance of connecting before I correct. I understood even more the discipline that would work with this generation. I understood even more how to raise an independent thinking child. We got so many tools, so many strategies to help us along our journey. So parents, I want to encourage you. If you have not yet joined the 2025 cohort, please take it from this grandmother. Join the academy. It is going to help you on your parenting journey. Thank you.